Elon Musk is just having so many disasters pop up in his management of Twitter. And now seems to be the case that even he's recognized that and has put out a poll asking Twitter users, and they've resoundingly come to a conclusion, if he should step down as CEO of Twitter. Here's the results. He says, should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the results of this poll. And 57.5%, a clear majority, said yes. So we'll see if he actually does it. But this is in the wake of a couple different big blow-ups where he banned journalists, and that caused a bunch of people to be justifiably upset. And then as of late, he was implementing a policy where you couldn't promote other social media platforms on Twitter or something of that sort, and they walked that back because it was a disaster. And again, weren't you the free speech guy? And now you're putting in all these random, very anti-free speech policies, even though I don't think Twitter is a matter of the First Amendment, as you guys know. I know Twitter's not a matter of the First Amendment. Many people don't seem to recognize that. But if you were trying to say, I'm going to have a very laissez-faire, very free attitude about the regulation of Twitter, that has not been the case with Elon Musk at all. But with that being said, I'll just show you the beginning of this clip, the way that Jessica Tarlov on Fox News, actually, she's the liberal host on the 5, kind of responded to all of this, not the Twitter poll, but before, while he was suspending journalists and all that.
What would you like to say?
I would like to say that I think that Elon Musk needs a content moderation team, that he needs the Trust and Safety Council to come back so that people could actually see that there were folks and not just one man deciding that because his feelings got hurt or he felt unsafe, even though that Elon Jet account is just publicly available information, right? So let's be clear about that. And that assassination attempt on his child, and it is very scary for someone to climb on top of a car that has your kid in there. He didn't report it to the police, which seems strange. And then Donnie O'Sullivan, one of the reporters that we just showed, got suspended from Twitter for just tweeting out the fact that the LAPD had said that he didn't file a report. It had nothing to do with his coordinates, nothing to do with an assassination at all. And the transition from Republicans being up in arms about preserving the First Amendment to, cry harder, libs, is really something to behold.
And again, the Twitter arguments have nothing to do with the First Amendment unless the government was doing something in relation to our speech. So it's fascinating. I love the point she was making because it's so true that it went from, we don't like the way that Twitter's moderating because it's authoritarian and all these things. So then he got rid of the moderation team, but now he's just doing it as one person. And so it's even more up to the emotions and kind of sensitivities of that one person, not at all principled, right? And so if you really wanted Twitter to be a freer space where there's less moderation, that's something you could lobby for. And I don't mean lobby in the political sense, but just kind of push for. And if enough people felt that way, and Twitter was afraid that upset customers were going to leave because so many people wanted their policies to change, they would have to change their policies. As of now, it seems to be the case that enough users want some sort of regulation where the platform doesn't go completely crazy and everyone's going ham on it. And so that's kind of where they settled. But this is just you're patronizing a business, and with whatever value that brings, you can decide to try to make changes with the way they kind of format their processes. But it's not a matter of, we're being oppressed by the government somehow through Twitter. Complete incorrect thinking on that front. And now, as funny and as ironic as this is, Twitter has become less of a principled run platform where one person is just getting offended and banning people instead of a moderation team trying to make those judgments based on some set of rules that they've outlined. Again, there's flaws, there's bad decisions that have been made by Twitter in their moderation process, but having a team that tries to figure out some sort of process that they can be consistent with is better than one billionaire who bans people when he gets offended, which is now what it's become. And that in part seems to be why Twitter has voted him out. And we'll see if he actually does that. Speaking of Twitter, I'm on it. Luke P. Beasley. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get a full extra show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there's a link in the description.